Hi, I'm Alana. Welcome to another video. In today's video, we're doing a get ready with me for church. So it's 6 a.m. and I have hardly slept. The last 3 nights, I could hardly sleep. And I don't know if it's because I'm drinking too much tea, or if it's because I'm vegan, or if it's because I'm just really excited about everything that's going on at the moment. But I am practically delirious. So, good morning, and okay, I'm going to begin with 2 book recommendations. The first books that I'm going to recommend are the Stain series by S.J. Brand. So you can buy these on Amazon, and they're basically like, it's a series, and so there are, I think, 7 books in the series, and Bloodstained is the first one, and then Love Stained is the second one, and each one is better than the last. And they're about these people who, like, they can transform into wolves, and then they have like wolf packs, and the wolf packs have like, they all have like history and like rivalries, and the backstory is so deep and so like exciting. Like, these books are really like thrilling and really hot, like very hot, and very dark, and yeah. So that is the Stain series by S.J. Brand, and you can buy them on Amazon. Now, the next book that I'm going to recommend is called The Denial of Death by Ernest Becker. So this book is really good because Ernest Becker actually wrote it. So he wrote it and then he submitted it to Psychology Today, and Sam Kean was the publisher who read it at Psychology Today, like the manuscript. And when Sam Kean first read the manuscript of The Denial of Death, he was like, this is amazing, I must interview this man right now. And then he called Ernest Becker to like arrange an interview, and Ernest Becker's wife answered the phone and she said, I'm sorry, but Ernest Becker won't be able to come to an interview right now because he's terminally ill and he'll be dead in like a week. And so Sam Kean was like, well, now I really need to interview him. And then Ernest Becker called him back, and he was like, you know what? I will do the interview. Can you come to my deathbed? Like, can you come to my deathbed? And so Sam Kean was like, absolutely. And then he went to Ernest Becker's deathbed, and he was like, they just, obviously they weren't talking about the weather. Like, they didn't bother with chit chat. They just dove straight into talking about like life and death and meaning. And so they sat there talking about like life and death and meaning and drinking sherry for several hours. And then Sam Kean was eventually like, well, I'm obviously going to publish this masterpiece that you've written. And so he did. And then Ernest Becker died like a week later. So this book is basically Ernest Becker grappling with death, like actually grappling with his own death. And like, he talks about all of the different ways in which we like defend against death. Like, he talks about how we don't actually understand that everyone dies until we're about 3, at the age of like 3, people begin to understand that everyone dies, and then like gradually you understand that you die too, and like your parents and your loved ones, and like everybody dies. And then so the book is about like psychoanalysis of, and the philosophy of like how we grapple with the fact that we are all going to die. And it is such a good book. Like, it won a Pulitzer Prize, this book. So doing my makeup with my fingers because my makeup brushes are dirty. Did you know you should wash your makeup brushes every single week? So So yeah, that's The Denial of Death by Ernest Becker. It's so good so far. And what else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, so I listened to an interview last night, a Soft White Underbelly interview last night with a woman who, she was a police officer. Like, well, she was actually in the FBI or something, like one of the drug enforcement agencies. And she was like an undercover agent, And she actually ended up, so she was married to this man for like 10 years. And then after 10 years, she found out that he was actually a cartel member. And so then she had to like figure out, well, what am I going to do? And the reason, like, how are you married to someone for 10 years without knowing they're a cartel member? Well, he never wanted to talk about their childhoods. Like, he just avoided the subject of their childhoods completely for 10 years. And she didn't like question anything. And then when it came out, because he like confessed it to her, everyone was shocked and no one believed her that she actually didn't know. Everyone was like, you probably knew. And so then she wrote a book about it, and the agency that she was with, they blacklisted her for like marrying a cartel member. But then other agencies were like, actually, we're still going to work with you because you're so good at what you do. And then she got a divorce, obviously, but she also like wrote a best-selling book about how she accidentally married a cartel member. And so now she's a best-selling author, and like she has kids with this man. And yeah, this was a really great story, like lots of horrific violence, lots of horrific violence, and crazy story. Like, can you imagine being a FBI agent and like accidentally marrying a cartel member? And so that will be all for today. Thank you for getting ready with me for church. You're beautiful, you're perfect, I love you, God bless you. If you're new, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.